All right, let's see if my signal will allow me to do some of this. I don't see anybody coming in. That's not a good sign. Maybe the signal won't let me. Okay, I got 4. I got 2 now. That's not a good sign. Okay, now I got 16. Let's see. You all, when you come in, let me know if my signal is good or not. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Let me know if the signal's good enough. I'm out here walking in the park, and I normally would do this on YouTube, on Facebook, but I decided to come over and walk and talk with you all today, if my signal allows. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Happy 2021. I was telling somebody the other day that I've never been so glad to see a year end relative to 2020. And they were saying, oh, I shouldn't say that. People so deep and religious, man. What you mean I shouldn't say that? 2020 has been one of the most horrific years in history. I know a lot of folk have been blessed and all of that, but a lot of pain, a lot of suffering in 2020. I'm glad it's over, honestly. I'm optimistic about this new year, that some of this stuff will turn around for us. But I came on here just to really ask, what are your plans? What are your plans? We don't want to get caught in cycles. We don't want to get caught in cycles where we're kind of feeding on our pain, you know what I mean? Where we are, what's the word I'm looking for? We're defining ourselves by trauma, and you're kind of getting stuck in a position that a moment created for you, but you never really made the decisions or the choices to move forward. You're still stuck there, and year after year after year, you're being confined by, confined to the state of your trauma. At a certain point, you have to make new decisions, choices, and we know that you've made new decisions and choices when your goals change. You know what I mean? What are you going to do this year? What are you going to do this year? You don't want to be like a lot of church folk who just sit around and think that you're going to pray your way out of it. And I pray a lot, but I understand that prayer has to be coupled with something. And I have to have goals. I have to have, things I'm striving for. If you don't give God something to work with, you'll find yourself sitting in this same position 2022. So what are your goals? What are you striving for? You know what I mean? What do you want to see changed in your life in 2021? You can't wish upon a star. You can't wish it. You can't just hope that it happens. You can't assume it's going to happen because you're a good person. There's some stuff you got to go and you got to make it happen. You got to do that. Nobody's going to elevate your life. Nobody's going to fix your life. But you and God. God's already postured. He's already done his part. He's waiting on you. So you don't want to just be a person that's just sitting around taking a bath in your pain and your trauma and, never moving forward. What do you need to see changed? Okay, let's just get down to the brass tacks. You don't need to feed on somebody else's assessment of something relative to you that you long ago assessed for yourself. or of yourself. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we hear the opinion of other people about something relative to us, and it may not be favorable, but the reality is that person's assessment of me was something I had been knowing about myself, but had never done anything about. And so when I hear that person's assessment, I act like, well, it's so traumatic. And the reality is, it's just a reminder. Sometimes it's traumatic because it's a reminder to me that I'm quitting on myself. And I guess that's what I'm saying to you. Don't quit on yourself this year. You've been quitting on yourself year after year after year. Don't quit on yourself this year. It's New Year's Day. My mother's cooked. But I hadn't been able to walk for 2 days. So I'm out here walking. I'm going to get at least 6 miles, maybe 8, maybe 10. Because I've made a decision that, I'm tired of having clothes in my closet that I can't wear, that I spent a whole lot of money on. And just because I'm sitting around eating, no exercise, I got all of this money spent in these clothes and I can't wear them and give them away. And I say, okay, well, I'm just a kind-hearted person like this. I am a kind-hearted person, but the reality is I'm giving that suit away because I done got too fat for it. And so I don't care what you think about me, because I've made personal assessments and I realize that I'm carrying too much weight. So I'm not going to get offended by your opinions or your thoughts. I'm going to say, okay, well, yeah, that's me, that's true. And now I'm going to make the decisions, and I'm setting the goals for personal satisfaction. I'm not even doing it to appease or to get approval from anybody else. This is what I need for me. And I'm not going to quit on me. So what do you need? What do you need for you this year? What do you need for you this year? We don't need to have 12 months of conversation about soul ties or narcissist. You already know what you need to do. You already know what you need to do. You really do. But it's not going to change until you change. I'm making a New Year's resolution. Man, you should have been through that crap out. That don't work. You got to make some new life decisions. You got to ask yourself, what do I expect for me? What do I require of me? And hold yourself accountable. And be honest with yourself. Where you flunking, period. We ain't gonna try to sugarcoat this. We're not gonna brush over this. I'm flunking. I'm flunking in the area of relationships. I'm flunking with my money. I'm flunking with my health. You know what I mean? I'm flunking with my business. I'm flunking with my self-education. I'm not reading. I'm not learning. I'm not growing. I'm spending all of this time on social media listening to people that are not building me. I'm flunking. Till you can say that to yourself. See, this is not about anybody else. This is not about anybody else. This is about you. What are your expectations for you? And what are you going to do about it? Praying for God to do something about it, that ain't going to work because God already did his part. Your part is the part that's undone. Sitting around hoping for somebody to come through the sky like Superman and save the day, that don't work. Ain't nobody got time to come into your life and do for you what you supposed to be doing. Everybody trying to get their own stuff done. Ain't no Superman, no Batman showing up for you. You got to be your own Batman. You got to be your own Superman. And then you got to know what you want. You got to assess what it takes to get there. You got to commit to doing it. And then you got to make up your mind that you're not going to quit on yourself. You're not going to quit on yourself. Falling back, taking the path of least resistance, over spiritualizing stuff, talking about I'm praying about it. That's a cop-out, man. And I'm a pastor. And I'm telling you, that's a cop-out. I'm praying about it. I'm waiting on karma to work for me. I did so much good for other people. I'm waiting on somebody to do it for me. Babe, ain't nobody doing nothing for you. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for you. And so, what are your goals? What are your goals? You say you're depressed because you can't get into nothing in your closet. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? You know what I mean? Your health is not good, and most of that goes back to the fact that you got the wrong stuff in your refrigerator. You're sitting up eating all this stuff all night long, eat potato chips, and you know you got high blood pressure. What are you doing about it? Huh? You don't like the way you look in the mirror? You look away from the mirror when you're getting out the shower because you can't stand the way you look? My question is, what are you doing about it? What are you going to do about it? This is a brand new year. This is 2021. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let me get by these people here. I'll give you an example. We make so many excuses. I love walking. Lisa loves riding bikes. Well, one day, I just picked up the bike and said, I'll ride. Bike wore me out, man. Wore me completely out. I mean, just worked a whole different, group of muscles than walking. I can walk 10 miles and riding 2 miles on a bicycle wears me out in ways I can't even describe. So I said, well, watch this. I said, well, it's because, I'm older now. I'm older. That's why, I can't ride that bike like that. I'm older. So why is it that the other day I was in Houston walking around my neighborhood and there was a man who was obviously older than me riding around, was on this track that's about 4 miles around. Why is it that this man passed me on a bicycle, moving fast? I said, he's obviously older than me. If he's not older than me, he's lived a very hard life. But I'm just pretty sure he's much older than me. Why is it that this man passed me going at a pace that was just unbelievable on a bicycle? And I looked at the man and I said, oh, he wearing himself out. He getting him one good one in. So I'm walking on this track. It goes in a circle. So I look up the road a ways, then hear homeboy coming around again, which means he's already lapped. And he's at the same pace. He's older than me. I said, wow, this dude is phenomenal. So I keep walking. He passes by me again at the same pace. It was always an excuse that I can't ride the bike comfortably because of age. We do this to ourselves all the time. That's called quitting on yourself. I can ride the bike. My wife does it. I'm just a few years older than my wife. She does it. How are you doing, sir? It's an excuse. It's called quitting on yourself. And this year, I'm just saying, you can read all of the self-help books. You can listen to all of the coaches, and I think we all need that. We need people in our lives that really pour into us, teach us, and all of that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, if you don't make some decisions and set some goals for yourself, like for instance, I was on Clubhouse, and I was talking with a group on Clubhouse about, in fact, it was the first room that I had ever opened. I only did it one time. It's a new app if you don't know what I'm talking about. Google it. And we were talking about lessons learned and goals for 2021. And there's some things that I listed as goals that I think all of us should, probably at least a great percentage of us could put on our list along with the personal things that you may have. Number one, I think everybody that plans on participating in the current and coming economy has to give full attention to your personal digital footprint, your social media, your website, how you're represented digitally. You have to really take it seriously, and you have to probably get some counsel on how to, especially if you're in business, if you're an artist, if you're an entrepreneur. You have to make improving your digital footprint a priority for 2021, because everything is where? It's online. Everything is digital now. I'm a pastor. Well, for the last 11 months, this is where I've preached. Social media, websites have been my pulpit. My congregation is global. And even for you, you have to take it seriously now. You got to use your social media for more. You should not have a business, and when I go to your page on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you have a business. Say you have a tax preparation business. Then I go to your page, and 6 out of 10 pictures is food. You taking pictures of food. Why is there nothing that is promoting what you do? This ought to be a goal of yours, to professionalize your digital footprint. This is about more than just social media now. This has become mainstream. This is where money is made. This is where millionaires are created. And you can advance your career, advance your business, advance your brand, advance your, whatever your art is, tremendously, if you just make up your mind that you're going to, improve, enhance, maybe reinvent your entire digital footprint. What's another one? Forgetting now. Another goal for 2021 ought to be to, watch this, take ownership and complete control over your personal emotional health. Recognize where you're struggling. Go and get some therapy, get some counseling. Recognize where you're struggling, and don't cover it. Own it, and take complete control over your personal emotional and mental health. Hello. Nobody's going to do it for you, and if you're not whole and healthy on the inside, what's happening around you is always going to be polluted by a broken internal. So you gotta make 2021. We're going to be about the business. Watch this. You're going to be about the business of me. And that's not from a narcissistic, self-consumed perspective. But here's the reality. A lot of you on here right now have been about everybody else but yourself. My wife said something the other day that really blessed me. She said she's learned that she has to take care of herself first if she's going to be equipped to take care of all of the other people in her life that she loves. That's a lesson I've been trying to teach my wife for 30 years. 30 years. That you can't sacrifice yourself for me, the children, the church, and everybody else, and think that you're doing us a favor. You do me a favor when you realize that you have to be taken care of. And you have to put yourself first sometimes. And that's where a lot of you all are now. You know, that broken consciousness has you in a place where you're sacrificing your own health, emotionally, psychologically, physically. And you need to take in 2021 and make your personal emotional health your priority and prioritize yourself. You need to be about the business of you in 2021, working on you. And anybody that will not support that is probably not the right person for you to sacrifice yourself for, because people that love you, honestly love you, want you to take care of you, and they will assist you in whatever way is necessary. But these are some goals. Improve your digital footprint, work on your personal emotional health. And then the third thing that we talked about is everybody should be Googling or getting some counsel on how to begin to create or generate some other streams of income. You need passive income that will flow into your life, that you don't have to wake up, put no pumps on or no suit, and go to nobody's job. Not that you're going to stop working your job, but you need to start seeing, one of your goals should be in 2021, I am going to begin to see at least another stream of income open up in my life. Let's just take care of business now, in other words, Let's just get down to business. All of this stuff worrying about people that should have never been in your life and all of that, that's low-level stuff. Let's elevate the thought. Let's elevate the game now and really get down to the business of self-advancement. God's already ordained it for you. And then, of course, which leads into my fourth thing I remember now that I discussed with them, is that 2021 has to be the year that you make the solid and definite decision, by any means necessary, I'm breaking these soul ties. I am done with this. It's a decision. I'm done with this. I'm soliciting the power of God, but I'm making a personal decision that I am done with this soul tie. I'm no longer going to allow a person that should have never got a conversation to continue to occupy the intricate and intimate spaces of my heart. I'm done with this. It's over. And make those declarations. You don't have to see how it's going to happen. You just have to really feel it in your spirit, and you have to make that decision. And it's amazing how you make a decision, we make a decision. It's amazing how then the power of God steps in and backs us up. And see, why is that? Why is that? It's because when God created you and I, mankind, we are created as living souls. Meaning what? We have the power to choose or decide. God is not going to bend our will. He'll share with us the consequences of choosing certain things, but he's not going to manipulate and force us to do anything. So until you really make a decision that I'm out, God's hands are tied. And so relative to these relationships, you have to really earnestly make the decision that I'm out. God, I'm done. Make that decision really in your heart. I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. And then go back and listen to all of those YouTube videos I've done on soul ties. Reread the book I wrote on soul ties. Go back and listen to the online program that I've done on soul ties and breaking them, if you already have it. And then watch the difference it will make. See, a lot of times you're reading this stuff and you're looking at this stuff, but you're hoping for magic. You want some presto magic. You want RC Blakes to say something that's going to magically change this situation. No. All RC Blakes can do is say the things that will enlighten you to what you're dealing with and maybe give you some suggestions on how to begin to come out of it. But ultimately, the decision to do so has to be yours. I didn't come out of soul tie relationships until I decided to. And so must you. You must decide that 2021 is my time to literally come out of this situation that has never been ordained of God. So what are your goals? What are your goals? What are you striving for? What can we expect of you in 2021? I'm believing that it's going to be an amazing year. But it's only going to be what we decide it to be. That's the truth. It's only going to be what we decide. So educate yourself, where you see your life given to folly and waste. You're wasting time. You're dealing with foolish, unprofitable people. You got to change those things. And you have to make the decisions and make the choices with your life make the choices with your life that are going to advance you. Your personal advancement is your responsibility, nobody else's responsibility. You can talk about, well, my mom and my dad didn't give me this and they didn't give me that. And sometimes that's the truth, because sometimes people can't give you what they never had. And sometimes you don't look at it from their perspective. You're expecting them to have given you something that they never received. But here's the truth. We're not responsible for what we were born into, or what other people did to us or didn't do for us. But once you become conscious, you are absolutely responsible for where you go from here. Much of my past I couldn't control. But when I'm aware, when I'm awakened, and I'm enlightened, my future is my full responsibility. So, stop wasting your time just dragging on, how you were abandoned and you never had the love of a father or mother. I know that can be a major handicap if you let it. But when you wake up and you say, okay, I didn't have all of that, but I have a clear vision of where I'm going. When you wake up and you do that, you know what happens? You may not have had a father, may not have had a mother. When you wake up and you do that, then the Heavenly Father steps into his role and he begins to guide your footsteps. And everything you imagine to do, it begins to unfold, because here's the truth that most folk have not realized. You will succeed in life once you understand that you have to keep your heart pure, your vision in view, and keep God at the center. You can succeed in life without the aid of other people. You and God are really enough to make this happen. You're the one that's just like overemphasizing this great need for all of these people and everything. But the reality is you and God are enough. And when you and God on point, it's amazing how God will then raise up people that you never knew, maybe from the other side of the world, that will aid you in whatever it is that God has assigned to your life. But as long as you're obsessed with people that let you down and people that should have did this and should have did that, and they didn't do it, and you're wasting decades with all of this stuff, you can't change that. You make up your mind that you're going to set your goals and you're going to do great things in spite of, and the power of God will kick in, and you'll be an amazing testimony. You'll be an amazing testimony. And that's really what I'm declaring over your life for 2021. that you will overcome and you will get free from all of that stuff and all of that torment, and that your life will become the amazing testimony that God has ordained it to be. Sometimes God didn't let certain people do certain things for you so that when you get to where God is bringing you, you'll be able to say, this was God. Fact about it, watch this, and this is not wrong. God and I did this. Put him first. God and I did this. God and I did this. I ain't had, nobody left me nothing. Nobody helped me. Folk that should have been helping me abused me or whatever. Folk that should have been given to me took from me, robbed me. God and I did this. And this is where I'm at. Started on the bottom, now I'm here. Come on now. Back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, you all on me. That'll be your testimony, man. But you gotta make a decision. You can't live, you can't continue to live with all this emotional stuff tying you up with things that don't matter. Worrying about a woman or a man that doesn't even matter, and your life is unraveling. You worrying about a relationship and your life is unraveling. Your health is failing, your money not right. You got more things to work on, your business is sinking. You got more things to worry about than a relationship right now. You got a life to work on. So what are your goals? What are your goals for 2021? What are your goals? I have some very specific goals. I'm not going to necessarily share them necessarily on no public platform. Not necessarily, because, and this is a piece of wisdom for a lot of you, goals are to be shown and not necessarily told to the world. Share your goals with the people that are really in your intimate circle. You don't share your goals too much on no public platform, because people don't know what your goals are, they can't block you. So just show the world your goals. Make a declaration that 2021 is going to be the year that the world will see my goals. Won't have to be running my mouth. The world is going to see my goals. They see your address change. They say, oh, how she moved there? Let them see your goals. When they see you walk up and you have a peace that just radiates, you have a joy that's just magnetizing, let them see your goals. Come on now. And they see you walking in the bank and you got a private banker. They pull you back in the office and they take care of your stuff privately, and they standing in the line there. Oh, how she got a private banker? You know what kind of money you got to have that? Let them see your goals. And watch this. As you reach your goals, stay humble. Stay humble. You don't need to brag. You buy that new house, you don't need to put it all over social media. You buy your dream car, you can actually afford it. You don't need to put it all over social media. Watch this. When God sends you the kind of man or the kind of woman that you've been praying for, you don't need to put it all over social media. Ain't nobody's business. Ain't nobody's business. And your life can turn around just that fast. But you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision. Now, right now, my life is amazing. It's great. At least now talking about just how much our lives have changed in 12 months. But you know what? I realize that there's another level. And so now I'm getting ready to engage coaches in certain aspects of my life to take those things that are doing good and make them great. That's a decision I'm making. And I'm a person, I know how to excel, and my life can be shooting through the stratosphere and you'll never know it. the way I live my life, the way I carry myself, you never know it. You never know it. My car is not far from here. I'm passing by it again, and it's that particular car is about 16 years old, maybe 17 years old actually, and that's my car when I'm at home here in New Orleans. People say, well, why don't you buy? I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that because your goals are for personal fulfillment. You're not trying to reach your goals so you can flash everything. That's how you create a whole lot of unwarranted enemies. When you don't know how to keep some things private and live your life in a fashion that your business is your business. So I'm hoping that I'm saying something to help you. You all are helping me because you're entertaining me as I walk around this track. But get your goals together, man. And watch this. Let me say this. The best way to figure out what your goals are is inspiration. You got to be inspired. Now, how are you inspired? You have to get around, put yourself in the vicinity of people that you admire and people who are living a life that resonates with you. You know what I mean? Like of course, you know, I'm a Christian and I'm a pastor, you know, but I listen to people who may be coming from some other discipline, you know, but I admire the parts of your philosophies or whatever that may not agree with me. I know how to push that to the side, but still glean from the part of your life that is inspirational to me, because when I'm around inspirational people, it's like where I'm trying to go is clarified. It's like it brings clarity to me. See, as long as you're around people who, you know, are existing where you're trying to move from, you're never inspired. You'll never be inspired with the people you're running with. You have to, you know, put them on the back burner for a minute and go to some conferences, you know, tap into some. You got people doing all kinds of conferences on Zoom and everything else now. Tap into people who are doing the things that just really excite you. And it's like when you get around them, it's like, oh, that's what I'm looking for. It's like they give you language or they give you perspective for the thing your heart has been longing for. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure out where you're going, what you're going to do in 2021, because I believe that there's a supernatural grace that is upon this year to make up ground for the things that you feel like, or we feel like we've lost. I believe that there's a grace to make up ground, but nothing happens even in the spirit till we make a decision in the natural. So what are you going to do? Where are you going? How are you going to get there? I wasn't able to read you all's comments. A lot of people out here today. I need me a mask out here. Too many people. God almighty. Let me walk over here. Get out the way of all of this. Look at these birds. Look at how many of them it is. They're out here every day. When the sun is getting ready to go down, they gather right there. Look like by the thousands, really. So, hope y'all get something out of our little discussion today. Hope you got something out of our little discussion today. But I want you to really sit down and find you some quiet time today. Get something to write on and write it out. Write the vision, make it plain. When you write it, listen to what I'm saying. When you write your goals out, why that's so impactful and important is because when it's written and you can read it, now you're holding yourself accountable. The moment you write it, you are holding yourself accountable because you can't unread it. Once you write it and you can read it, it's like now you can remind yourself about what you wrote and what you read. And when your life is not on par with what you wrote, it's like there's an internal governing system that's internalized. So get something to write with, write your goals out, and put the paper somewhere. And then I want you to look at the end of 2021, in December of 2021. I want you to look at how far you've come. Hello. I want you to look at how far you've come and the progress you've made. I believe this is your year for progress. I believe that. This is your year for progress. This is your year for progress. Let's make the decisions and let's not quit on ourselves. No more quitting on you. You show up for everybody else. Now I need you to show up for yourself. You show up for everybody else. Now I need you to show up for yourself. Will you do that for me? Will you do that for me? I don't want you just existing. I want you to live. I want you to live. And I want you to be fulfilled in every area of your life. Your body, your productivity, your relationships, your mind. Your body, your productivity, your relationships, and your mind. So, that's all I wanted to say. Don't you all forget to go to rcblakes.com and sign up for my mailing list. And of course, you can go to Amazon, pick up any of my books. Be looking out because I got a few other books that are going to be coming out in 2021. The book on narcissist from a biblical perspective. And the third installment in the Queenology series. First one is Father-Daughter Talk. The second book is Queenology. The third book that's going to be coming out is the Training for Reigning. Once you realize you are a queen, what do you need to do? So be looking out for that. Don't forget to go to my website also and look at those online programs. They'll bless you. Soul Ties, Breaking Soul Ties. Queenology, Queenology 2.0, which is Training for Reigning. Wisdom for Women in Ministry, Transcending the Father Wound. All of that's there. And all of those programs are presently less than $50. And I mean, it's hours of content, so I'm really giving it to you. So I love you all, man. Thank you for helping me to kind of walk. I wanted to talk to y'all, but I needed to talk to y'all to distract me at the same time. So thank you for hanging in there with me, and just know I love you all. Thank you, all of you that sowed into my life today. I couldn't really read it because I was walking. For some reason, there are a lot of people out here today. I guess it's the New Year's resolution thing. So I love you all, and I appreciate you. Lisa and I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to hearing your testimonies. Take pictures of yourselves. Take pictures of yourselves because you ain't gonna look the same at the end of 2021. Pull up your bank account and take a screenshot of your balances, because at the end of 2021 won't be the same. You got to balance your checkbook 3-4 times a day now. At the end of 2021, you won't have to worry about that. all based on your decisions. Your decisions, all based on making the right decisions and not quitting on yourself. Your whole life will change. Your whole life will change. I'm a living witness, living proof. Your whole life will change. Whew. All right, it's rough walking and talking, y'all. I gotta go. I love y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.